What's up, soul family and my baddies? What's going on? I wanted to talk to you about a dream that I had last night. I was walking down this familiar street that is well known in this hometown that I used to live on. And of course, it was different people. And in the dream, I saw like a lot of people outside, and it was a lot of people, like groups of people sitting on the porch. And this guy, he walks up to me and he introduces himself to me, and I was like, hey, how you doing? And as he introduces himself to me, as he want to further continue the conversation, he goes in and he says, well, let me show you a way so that you can remember me. And I was like, oh, okay. And when he did, he pulls out a gun. It was like a revolver or something like that. It was a small gun. And he lets off shots in the air. And I was like, feeling like it was kind of weird because I didn't understand what was the whole purpose of that. So when he did that, everybody that was sitting on the porch, they started laughing, and I hurried up and scared away because I was like, what type of nonsense is this, So as I got around the corner of this street, it was some type of confrontation that was going on between two separate neighborhoods. And I guess with these two neighborhoods, they was like directly across the street from one another. And one person was saying something to the other side, and basically like a rivalry. And before you knew it, they both let off shots on one another. And they just kept shooting. And I couldn't understand what in the world am I walking into, because I don't understand, if they're directly across the street, wouldn't they be in the same neighborhood? But anyway, I couldn't understand why the whole purpose of these two neighborhoods, they were added the way they were, because, they just had to let it be known about who they were and why they were who they were. So I kept walking, okay? And so I came across this couple, and the woman was crying, and the guy was like, you disrespected me. But he was talking to this guy that the woman was trying to protect, because she didn't want it to get too far. And so he pulls out a gun and he shoots the man, and the man is just laying there in blood. And she's down there, she's crying, and she's like, why did you do that? You didn't have to do that. It wasn't that serious. You didn't have to do that. And so the guy was like, I had to do this. He disrespected me. I had to do this. When I woke up, usually in the morning I wake up and there's always a song playing in my head. And ironically, if you're not familiar with the African American culture, this group called TLC, What About Your Friends, that kept playing in my head. So I decided to listen to that song this morning, and I was actually listening to the lyrics to that song, and an intuitive message hit me. And the message was, they did not do it for you. You had nothing to do with it. It was about their friends. It was about the people that they was trying to prove themselves to. It had nothing to do with you. I wanted to say this because I truly felt like someone needed to hear this. No matter what you go through, the people that you meet, you have to use your discernment when it comes down to the crowd of people that you entertain, because not everybody is for your highest good, and not everyone that you vouch for is going to vouch for you. So I want y'all to understand that when you make decisions, you have to understand that one bad decision can change your whole entire life. And you want to make sure that the decisions that you make are good decisions. So you have people who want to get you to prove yourself to them, and they have nothing to offer. They have nothing to back you up with. They have nothing to help you psychologically, to help you grow. And sometimes that when you go out your way to prove and say that you had to do it, are you doing it for the sake of another person, or are you doing it because you needed to protect yourself? And yourself meaning your mind, your freedom, your integrity, as well as who you are individually. I know as a feminine, we sometimes we make decisions because, especially if you have dealt with any form of abandonment, you tend to hold on to someone who you believe that will protect you. But are you protecting yourself, or are you protecting, and when I mean are you protecting yourself, are you protecting yourself from the person that you thought that would protect you, or are you protecting yourself from outsiders because they're going to harm you? And sometimes, in most scenarios, when you are encountering abandonment issues, we find ourselves trying to protect ourselves from the person who you thought that was going to protect you. And sometimes we make risky decisions in life, and we're thinking that if we do these things, that we will actually be seen, we will actually be heard. But really, all it does is cause a catastrophe in your life, where you find yourself hurt at the end, because that person that you thought that you was going to protect yourself with ends up being the villain, and you end up being the victim. So that's all I had to say in this message. I hope that it helped. I'm going to try to link that TLC song on the bottom in the description for you, so you can kind of get an idea of what that song is really saying. If this message helped you in some form or fashion, please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. This video was so intense, but I hope that it really helped. Sometimes Spirit gives me messages in a way that I'm familiar with, and it can be very, very dramatic because of the lifestyle that I did live at some point of my life. And I want other people to understand that you don't want to take a chance on yourself in a way that you're going to regret it, because it feels good at the moment, or it looks good to other people. Because just like those friends at the beginning of the dream, you will find yourself being the one that they laugh at.